Your name was announced in heaven. Yes, your name was boldly announced in heaven yesterday, when you were sleeping, and this has a reason. I want to talk to you through this message for the next few minutes, so please don't let any other distraction invade your mind. Child, the reason why your name was announced in heaven is because the time has come for certain things concerning your destiny to be set in motion. Things that have been waiting, things that have been stored up, things that have been spoken over you long before you were born. Yesterday was not an ordinary day in the courts of heaven. While the earth slept and men continued in their own routines, the heavens stirred. The scroll that bears your name was unsealed for the next chapter, and I caused your name to be spoken aloud, not in whisper but in declaration. You think you have walked unknown, unnoticed, perhaps even forgotten. But I tell you now, you have been hidden only for the appointed time, and now that time begins to unfold. You are not created for the dust alone, but for the breath of life I have placed within you, a breath that carries my own spirit. The announcement of your name was not merely for you, it was for all that heaven commands on your behalf. I have called my angels to attention concerning you. I have released assignments into the earth, and these assignments will find you, for they are bound to your name. The path ahead will not be shaped only by your steps, but by the decrees that have gone forth from my mouth. For when heaven speaks, creation responds, and creation heard your name yesterday. This is why even now certain things inside of you are beginning to stir without explanation. The ache you have felt, the restlessness, the sudden quickening in your heart, it is not from the natural realm. These are signs that the eternal has touched your timeline. You have been prepared for seasons you did not yet understand, but the one who sees the end from the beginning has been weaving you into his plan all along. Child, hear me. You are not an accident of history. You are a deliberate thought in my mind, spoken into existence at the fullness of time. Before your frame took shape in the secret place, I knew you. Before your voice learned words, I spoke identity over you. You have wondered why certain trials came your way, why certain doors were shut, why people you loved could not stay. I tell you now, all of it has been shaping you for this moment, not to harm you, but to strengthen the vessel that will carry what I am about to pour out. Your name was announced because it is time to remind the heavens, the earth, and even the forces of darkness that you are mine. The enemy has tried to make you believe that you have been disqualified, delayed beyond repair, or diverted beyond recognition, but I have preserved you. Even in the seasons where you felt like giving up, I have held you. Even when your own choices took you down paths of pain, my hand never released you. For you are written in the palm of my hand, and I do not forget my own. When your name was announced, angels moved into formation. Assignments that were once in waiting began to descend. Some will come as sudden opportunities, others as divine connections, and some as inner clarity where once there was confusion. Do not be afraid when the pace changes. You have been asking me to move, and now I am moving, but my pace will not always match your comfort. I will stretch you, for the next season cannot be carried by the old version of you. I am calling you into deeper waters, waters where you will not be able to touch the ground, so that you learn to trust the current of my spirit. You will see me lead you in ways that do not make sense to human reasoning, but in those moments, remember, your name was announced, and heaven does not make announcements without purpose. The very fact that you are reading these words is evidence that I have been drawing you nearer, clearing away the noise, and speaking directly to your spirit. Child, I have seen every tear, even the ones you wiped away quickly so no one would notice. I have felt every weight you carried silently, the ones you thought I might have overlooked. I have counted every sigh that left your lips in the middle of the night. Nothing in you is hidden from me, and nothing in you is beyond my reach. Your name was announced because it is time for restoration in places you thought would remain barren. I will restore not just what was lost, but what you never even realized you were meant to have. I will restore years. I will restore confidence. I will restore joy where heaviness has sat like a stone. And I will restore vision, not merely sight, but the ability to see as I see. For you cannot walk where I am taking you if you keep looking through the eyes of disappointment. Lift your gaze, child. I am doing a new thing. Some will not understand what is happening in your life in the coming days. They will think it is sudden, but you will know it is the unfolding of prayers and promises that have been long in the making. Do not spend energy trying to explain to those who cannot yet perceive it. Simply walk with me. The fruit will speak for itself. You have been in a season where it felt like silence was my answer, but silence is not absence. In the stillness, I have been preparing the stage of your life for this next act. You have been hidden in the shadow of my hand because I guard what is precious. And you, child, are precious to me. Think of Abraham, called while he was still Abram, dwelling in a land of idols, knowing neither the path nor the destination. I spoke his name, not in a whisper, but with the authority that shifts the course of generations. I told him to go to a land I would show him. He had no map in his hand, only a word in his spirit. And yet, by his obedience, nations were birthed. So too, when I announced your name, it was not to entertain you with lofty words, but to mark the beginning of a journey that will affect more than just you. There are people, even generations, on the other side of your obedience. Think of Moses, hidden as a child, drawn out of the waters, raised in the house of Pharaoh, yet shaped for a purpose far greater than the throne of Egypt could offer. When I called him from the burning bush, his name echoed in the wilderness, Moses, Moses. He trembled, unsure, convinced of his own inadequacy. But my call was not dependent on his confidence. It was dependent on my promise. Child, when I announced your name in heaven, it was not because you have all the qualifications the world might look for. It was because I have chosen you, and my choice is enough. Think of Samuel, a boy who had never yet heard my voice, lying in the temple at night. I called him by name not once, but 3 times, until his spirit learned to answer, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." You too must learn this posture in this season. When I call, answer quickly. Do not delay by questioning whether it is truly me. My sheep know my voice, and I will teach you to recognize the tone of heaven until it is more familiar than your own thoughts. Think of David, the shepherd boy overlooked by his own family when the prophet came to anoint a king. Yet I saw him in the fields, worshiping with a heart wholly mine. I called his name in the quiet places long before the oil touched his head. And when the day came, I brought him from the pasture to the palace, for I do not choose as man chooses. Child, you may feel unseen, but I have been watching in the secret places, and your worship, your faithfulness in small things, has not been ignored. When I announced your name, it was as one who has been found faithful in the unseen. Think of Mary, a young woman in a small village, visited by my messenger with a word that would change history. You have found favor with God. She did not understand the fullness of what she was stepping into, but her response was pure. Let it be to me according to your word. In this season, I am calling you to that same surrender. You will not always grasp the size of what I am asking, but I am looking for your yes more than your comprehension. Think of Gideon, threshing wheat in secret, fearful and convinced he was the least in his family. Yet I called him a mighty man of valor before he ever fought a battle. When I announced your name in heaven, I did so not according to your present fears, but according to the identity I have written over you. You are more than you believe yourself to be. You carry a strength that has not yet been revealed in full. Think of Isaiah, who saw my holiness and immediately felt his unworthiness. I cleansed his lips and then asked, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And he answered, "Here am I, send me." When I announced your name, I was inviting you into that same partnership, to stand in the gap, to be my voice, to carry my heart into places where it has been forgotten. Think of Jeremiah, who tried to protest, "I am too young." But I told him, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations." Your calling, too, did not begin with your first breath on earth. It began with my thought of you in eternity. The announcement of your name in heaven is simply the unveiling of what has always been written. Think of Peter, a fisherman with rough hands and an unpolished tongue. Yet I called him from his nets with the promise that he would fish for men. Even after his failures, even after denying me, I restored him by the sea and recommissioned him. Feed my sheep. Child, do not think that your mistakes have erased your calling. If I could restore Peter and use him to open the doors of my kingdom to the nations, I can redeem every place in you that you think is beyond repair. Think of Paul, once a persecutor of my church, struck blind on the road to Damascus when I called his name, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" His life turned in a moment, and he became one of my greatest messengers. When I announced your name, I was not limited by your past. I see the transformation that my spirit will bring in you, and I call you according to your future, not your history. All these and many more were called out for a purpose larger than themselves. And with each one, the calling was accompanied by my presence, for I never send without going with you. Child, I have not called you to walk this path alone. The same Spirit that empowered them will empower you. The same faithfulness that carried them through trials will carry you. But understand this, the announcement of your name is not merely an honor. It is an enlistment. It is heaven's way of saying, the time has come. And just as with those I have called before you, the path will not always be easy. You will face resistance, misunderstanding, and moments that test your resolve. Yet in all of it, my hand will be upon you. You may find yourself in a wilderness like Moses, where the scenery feels barren and the promises feel delayed. But the wilderness is not the absence of my plan. It is the place where I shape leaders, refine character, and teach reliance. You may find yourself in a lion's den, like Daniel, facing danger for the sake of integrity. Yet even there I will shut the mouths of lions. You may find yourself in a fiery furnace, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, surrounded by heat intended to destroy you. Yet you will not burn, for I will walk with you in the flames. Child, the announcement of your name means that the storyline of your life is being aligned with the purposes of heaven. It means that your steps are being ordered, even when they do not make sense to you. It means that the people I place in your path will not be random, and the doors that open will be those I have chosen for you to walk through. There will be moments when you feel as Jonah did, tempted to run from what I ask because it feels too heavy or too costly. But know this, my call is not a burden meant to crush you. It is an invitation meant to free you. The safest place you can be is in the center of my will, even when it leads you into unfamiliar waters. I am calling you into the same kind of trust Abraham had when he lifted the knife over Isaac, believing that I could raise the promise even from the ashes. I am calling you into the same kind of boldness Esther had when she approached the king, risking her life for such a time as this. I am calling you into the same kind of perseverance Nehemiah had when he rebuilt the wall, refusing to come down from the work no matter the opposition. When I announced your name in heaven, the weight of all these testimonies surrounded that moment. For you are part of the same great cloud of witnesses, not as one who only reads their stories, but as one who will write your own chapter in the unfolding narrative of my kingdom. You may say, Lord, I am not worthy. But worthiness does not come from you. It comes from me. My Son's blood has covered you, cleansed you, and qualified you. You may say, Lord, I do not have the resources, but I am your provision, and when I send you, I equip you. You may say, Lord, I am afraid, but I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Your name being announced in heaven is also a sign that certain battles are already won before you even step into them. There will be moments ahead where you will feel outnumbered, but remember that those who are with you are greater than those against you. I have assigned strength to you for this season, strength that will surprise even you. You will endure storms not because they are small, but because I am in the boat with you. The reason I tell you these things now is so that when you see them come to pass, you will not think it is coincidence or luck. You will know it is I, the Lord your God, who called you by name, who announced you in the presence of my angels, who set things in motion on your behalf. Do not despise the days of small beginnings in this season, for the seeds I am planting will grow faster than you expect. There will be acceleration. Things that used to take years will happen in months, and things that used to take months will happen in days. I am compressing time because the purposes I have for you require it. But child, do not confuse acceleration with skipping preparation. I am still shaping you daily. Yield to my hand even when it is uncomfortable, for I am molding you into a vessel of honor. There will be moments where my correction feels sharp, but it is because I am aligning you with heaven's blueprint for your life. I correct those I love, and I love you with an everlasting love. I am also drawing certain people into your life for this next chapter. Some will come to pour into you, others for you to pour into them. Learn to discern the difference. Not every voice deserves equal access to your heart. Guard what I am entrusting to you. The treasure I place within you will attract attention, but not all attention is safe. Walk in wisdom, and I will give you the discernment to know who is sent and who is simply drawn. The announcement of your name also carries a responsibility. This is not a season for half-hearted pursuit of me. I am calling you into a deeper surrender. Let go of the things that dull your spirit. Lay down the distractions that keep you from hearing my whisper. Make room for me in your daily moments, not just in crisis, but in the quiet. I am not just the God who rescues. I am the God who walks with you in the ordinary, transforming it into holy ground. You have asked me for confirmation before taking certain steps, and I tell you, this is your confirmation. Move forward. Take the step. Trust that I go before you. You will not see the full picture yet, but that is by design, for faith is the currency of this journey. I will give you enough light for the step you are on, and when you take it, I will illuminate the next. There will be tests ahead, but they are not sent to break you. They are sent to reveal what I have already placed in you. You will see that the seasons of waiting were not wasted. They have built within you a resilience that will serve you well. You will face doors that seem too large for you, but I will be the one who opens them. And when they open, you will know that no man can shut them. Do not be surprised if old fears try to rise up in this season. The enemy always tries to send shadows from the past to intimidate my children when they are stepping into something new. But remember, shadows cannot harm you. They are only evidence that light is near. Stand firm in the truth of who you are. You are chosen. You are appointed. You are loved beyond measure. Your name was announced, not because you are perfect, but because I have chosen you despite your imperfections. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. You need not pretend to be something you are not. Come to me as you are, and I will clothe you in what you need for each day. I am also releasing clarity over decisions that have felt tangled. In the coming days, watch for the subtle ways I guide you. Through peace that settles deep in your spirit, through scripture that comes alive at the right moment, through conversations that confirm what I have already whispered. I am the God who speaks, and I will not leave you guessing when you truly seek my will. You will find that as you walk in obedience, even in small things, the path ahead will open wider. I honor those who honor me, not because I need your honor, but because the alignment of your heart with mine unlocks blessings you cannot contain. Child, I tell you again, yesterday your name was announced in heaven, and all of creation heard it. This is a turning point. What was once delayed will now be released. What was once resisted will now yield. What was once hidden will now be revealed. You will see my hand in ways that leave no room for doubt. And when you do, remember that I told you beforehand so that your faith would be strengthened. Walk forward now with courage. Do not let fear dictate your pace. The same God who called you will sustain you. I am your provider, your defender, your guide, and your peace. I go before you, I walk beside you, and I guard you from behind. You are never alone, not for a single heartbeat. This is the beginning of a new chapter. Step into it boldly, for heaven has already made room for you. Your name has been announced, and nothing in earth or hell can silence what I have decreed. Amen.